Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we continue exploring the story of Toan and Tu Diem, as a sudden storm warning turns an ordinary evening into a race against time. One fragile roof, one dangerous moment, and a single decision that could change everything. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next videos. The story begins in the late afternoon. Toan and Tu Diem leave Tu Phan's house to head home. The sun is softer now, but the air feels heavier than before. Both are tired after a long day, yet they stop by the market to buy food for dinner. The market is busier than usual. Vendors gather in small groups. Buyers pause longer than normal, not to choose food, but to listen. People are talking about the weather forecast that just aired on the radio. Some say strong winds are coming. Others say heavy rain is possible. A few mention that a storm may arrive earlier than expected. The conversations are scattered, but Toan and Tu Diem hear enough. They slow their steps at the same time. No one says anything, but the same image appears in both their minds. Their house, simple, still unfinished, especially the bathroom with the newly tiled roof. That roof is still fresh, not strong enough to face long hours of strong wind. They have spent many days on this work, each tile, each piece of wood. If heavy rain and wind arrive, everything could be damaged in just one night. There is no need to say it out loud. They both understand. Tu Diem grips the grocery bag tighter. Toan scans the stalls quickly and nods. They buy what they need. Do not stay longer. Do not talk much. Then they leave the market. On the way home, Tu Diem receives a call from Tu. She answers right away. His voice sounds lower than usual. He says the weather is getting worse than expected. Heavy rain and strong winds may come soon. Possibly tonight, or by tomorrow at the latest. He tells them to be careful. Tu adds something important. The tiles delivered today are the last batch for now. If they get damaged, there will be no replacements immediately. They will have to wait several days. With this weather, waiting means more risk. Tu Diem ends the call and tells Toan everything. Toan does not speak right away. He only nods. But his steps become faster. At this point, they both understand the situation clearly. There are not many choices left. If they want to protect the house, they have only one chance. Do it today, and do it right. As soon as they get home, they put the bags down. No rest, no long break. Toan takes the tools. Tu Diem checks the tiles. The wind starts to rise, not too strong yet, but steady and colder. The first gusts shake the roof lightly. They begin reinforcing the roof. Each person takes a role. Toan works above. Tu Diem supports from below. Every movement is quick but careful. They speak only when necessary. Both are fully focused. The wind grows stronger. Not like at the market. These gusts have real force. When Toan lifts a tile to place it, a sudden gust hits. Tu Diem holds one side, but the tile slips. In a split second, it almost falls from her hands. She tightens her grip. Her heart races. 1 second later, the tile could have dropped, not only damaging the material, but also causing injury. Toan realizes it too. He holds it back. They stay still for a few seconds. No words, only the sound of wind. At that moment, Toan feels his head grow heavy. The old pain returns. Fatigue builds up from days of work and stress. He feels lightheaded. His vision darkens briefly. He tries to keep his balance. Tu Diem notices immediately. She tells Toan to stop. No hesitation, No long explanation. She says she will hold the roof. He needs to stand still for a moment. She trusts that he will get through the dizziness. This decision goes against their habit. Usually Toan is the protector, the one who carries the heavy part. But now Tu Diem steps forward. Toan listens. He takes a deep breath and leans against the frame. The dizziness slowly fades. He looks at Tu Diem. He says nothing, but his eyes show acceptance and trust. They continue, slower, more secure. Tu Diem holds each tile firmly. Toan adjusts the position. The wind keeps blowing, but they do not panic. Every step is calculated. Finally, the last tile is fixed. At that exact moment, the wind becomes much stronger. As if the weather is testing them one last time, Toan quickly checks the connections. The roof is not beautiful, not perfectly straight, but it is strong enough, safe enough. The first drops of rain fall, light at first, then heavier. They stand and watch for a few seconds, tired but relieved. Still, another worry appears. If heavy rain comes with thunder, the power could go out. Without delay, they head into the kitchen. They need to cook while there is still light, while everything still works. Toan washes the rice. Tu Diem prepares the food. No discussion, no instructions. It happens naturally. The rain grows heavier, wind hits the door, but inside the kitchen, work continues. They move in rhythm, not rushed, not slow. In the end, dinner is ready. The power stays on. They look at each other and smile, not loudly, just a small smile of understanding, as if they have passed a difficult stretch and received a bit of kindness in return. They take turns showering, then sit down to eat. Only now does the tension truly fade. Their bodies are tired, but their minds feel lighter. They eat and talk simply. They do not talk much about the wind or the danger. After the meal, Toan helps Tu Diem wash the dishes. A small task, but it slows everything down. When they finish, they sit inside the house and watch the rain and wind outside. Outside is still cold and loud. Inside feels calmer. The roof is still there. The light is still on. And they sit next to each other. As the rain grows heavier, Toan stands up to check the doors. He closes each wooden panel. He secures the latches. Every movement is slow and firm. He does not act out of panic. He acts based on the real condition of the house. With this type of structure, long hours of strong wind can push rain inside if the doors are not sealed. Tu Diem gathers the items left on the porch. She places them close to the wall. She keeps them low and compact. This reduces the chance of falling if the wind hits hard. This habit formed during their early days living here. You can notice that in moments like this, they do not talk much. They do not need long discussions. Each person knows what needs to be done. Actions flow naturally. No rush, no confusion. The sound of rain hitting the metal roof becomes steady and dense. It is different from the afternoon. Heavier, clearer, but not chaotic. Toan stands still under the roof for a moment. He listens. He checks with his ears and his sense. He wants to be sure water is not leaking through the joints they just fixed. Tu Diem stands next to him. She does not ask. She looks where he looks. When she sees the water flowing toward the drain as planned, she exhales softly. The worry in her chest eases. Not because everything is perfect, but because they have done everything they could under the circumstances. They go back inside. Toan pulls out a chair. Tu Diem places the kettle on the table. Steam rises lightly. Not much, but enough to warm the hands. They sit down, only now does the body clearly feel the fatigue. Heavy shoulders, tired arms, slower legs. Toan takes a sip of water and sets the cup down. He says briefly that today's work is enough. There is no need to push further. Tu Diem nods. She agrees. Both understand their limits for the day. Stopping at the right time matters. They eat a bit of the remaining food, not because they are very hungry, but because they need energy. This habit helps recovery. Toan eats slowly. Tu Diem does the same. No loud talk, no music, no extra lights. Outside, the wind continues. The rain keeps falling. Inside, the yellow light falls on the old wooden table. The light is not strong, but it is enough to see clearly. Safety does not come from comfort. It comes from knowing where you are and what you have. You can apply this to your own living space. When conditions are limited, focus on basics. A sealed roof, enough light, a warm meal. These elements stabilize your mind during bad weather. Toan stands again and walks around the house for a quick check. Not to find new problems, but to confirm what has been done. He returns to his chair and sits. His shoulders drop slightly, a sign that tension is fading. Tu Diem dries her hands and puts the dishes away. She does not leave tasks for tomorrow. With a heavy work schedule, unfinished tasks add stress the next morning. This is a practical lesson they have learned. They sit next to each other, not pressed close, but near enough. The distance feels comfortable, not forced, not cold. They look toward the door. Rain forms long lines under the yard light. Toan says that if the weather stays bad tomorrow, they will avoid heavy work. He says rest and observation come first. This is a practical decision. Working in strong wind and rain increases the risk of accidents, especially with an unfinished roof. Tu Diem agrees. She says conserving energy matters more now. Not everything needs to be finished in one day. But today, they passed the hardest part. She says it calmly. No emphasis, no pride. They sit quietly for a long time. No more words. Rain becomes background sound. Bodies relax, breathing slows. The mind stops running through worst-case scenarios. You can see that this calm does not come from luck alone. It comes from preparation, from timely action, from shared responsibility. These are practical things you can learn. Late in the evening, the rain softens, the wind eases. It does not stop. But it is no longer aggressive. Toan turns off some lights, leaving one small lamp on. Enough for safe movement. Tu Diem clears the table and checks the door one last time. She says nothing, but her actions show reassurance. They prepare to rest. No ritual, no summary. They lie down, each on one side, in the same space. The rain now sounds distant and even. Warmth does not come from thick blankets. It comes from knowing that today you did everything you could. The day ends there. No new events, no added challenges. Just a house still standing, a meal already cooked, and two people who made it through a difficult day together.
Câu chuyện xoay quanh một buổi chiều đầy bất an của Toan và Tứ Diễm. Khi họ nghe tin thời tiết xấu có thể kéo đến sớm và gió mạnh, mưa lớn, nỗi lo nhanh chóng xuất hiện khi họ nghĩ đến ngôi nhà còn đơn sơ, đặc biệt là mái nhà tắm mới lập chưa thật sự chắc chắn. Chỉ có một cơ hội duy nhất, cả hai lập tức về nhà để gia cố mái trong điều kiện gió ngày càng mạnh. Cao trào xảy ra khi Từ Diễm suýt đánh rơi tấm lợp và Toan bị choáng vì mệt, buộc cô phải đứng ra bảo vệ anh. Cuối cùng, mái nhà được cố định kịp được đúng lúc trước khi mưa đổ xuống. Họ vội nấu cơm vì sợ mất điện. may mắn mọi thứ suôn sẻ. Kết thúc ngày, hai người ngồi bên nhau trong căn nhà nhỏ, mệt nhưng ấm áp và an tâm.